And you went off to college. Well, remind me where it was Arkansas, right?
Arkansas State.
Okay. What do you remember about college? And what was any good memories from college?
I played corner linebacker at Arkansas State. I enjoyed playing that position. And I was called a monster man.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Monster man, I could play off of the right side of the line or the left side of the line. I always kept the opposite team confused as to where the pressure might be coming
Where the
from.
strength from?
Right.
Oh, and so you were free to kind of.
I could
roam.
move from one side to the other.
That's big time.
They call that the monster man.
All right.
I played monster man.
I like that. And what'd you do after college?
Tried to go to pro.
Right.
Couldn't make that because of the fact I had a hernia.
Yeah, you were on the Bengals for a little bit. I remember.
I wasn't on the Bengals at all because when I went through the medical, they discovered I had a hernia.
Right. Bridget told me.
Right.
Bridget
So
told me you were almost on there, but the physical.
The physical did not work out.
Okay.
But they gave me a ticket there. I got a chance to go there.
To the Cincinnati?
Cincinnati Bengals.
That's all good. Did you go to the Army after that? When did the Army come into play?
I'm gonna see. The Army came in place. I think it was afterwards. I'm kind of confused about that, but I think my stay in the Army came afterwards.
Right.
I'm pretty sure.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It came afterwards.
And what did you do in the Army?
I was worked in the office of the first sergeant,
Okay, first sergeant.
and worked in his office
Oh, that's good.
and do the morning report. The morning report is about who was present when you had to fall out at a certain time in the morning,
Right.
and so they had to keep a morning report of who was present and who was sick, who was out, who was not present.
Yeah, the Army was pretty strict.
The Army was very strict because the Army was about following orders.
That's right.
Bottom line.
Like military. Bottom line. Where was the base at? Or where were you based at?
At Fort Hood, Texas. You know where that is? Killeen, Texas.
Killeen, Texas. Where is that in relation to Marshall? Is it far or is it?
It's a pretty good ways away. It's in Texas.
Okay. Well, Texas is huge.
Right.
We drove through Texas. Remember, we
Right.
drove across the country
But the
when I was
city,
a kid, and Texas I felt like we were in Texas forever.
the city that we were closest to was Killeen, Kileen, Killeen, Texas.
All right, and that's where Fort Hood is.
That's where Fort Hood.
Okay.
And you had to drive on the base.
Now, what made you choose to join the Army?
What made me choose to join the Army was not to get drafted.
Yeah.
So when I joined the Army, I could decide what I wanted to be.
Right.
So I chose stock control and accounting, which is primarily working in an office.
Got it.
So that's,
Where if you get drafted, you don't have any control at all.
you don't have no control.
Which war was that?
What?
The draft? That was was that Vietnam?
That was the draft.
Yeah, Vietnam.
Vietnam War, right?
That's right. Yeah, we're at war right now with Iran. Donald
All right.
Trump. He started a brand new war.
Is that right?
Yeah, people are protesting, trying to get out of it, but
Uh-huh.
you know, it's always there's always something. Okay, and so when you left the military, where'd you go after that?
Okay, after Fort Hood, let me see.
I think it was Atlanta, but
No?
no, okay,
No, after I got Fort Hood, wait a minute.
right.
Atlanta University.
Atlanta University. That's
Right.
right. You went, at a certain point, you left Texas
Right.
and you went to Georgia.
Yeah, Atlanta University.
Okay.
And I was planning on going back to school there. And I wanted to take, I wanted to take a course in the Black diaspora.
Right.
And Atlanta was good but Dr. Long, who was over the that program, he was only into poetry.
Oh, really?
Poetry, nothing about the black diaspora.
Yeah,
And
you didn't sign up for poetry.
I didn't sign up. So the one that when I went to Arkansas State, that was Dr. Charles Johnson. Now he was the one that was over the black diaspora. He was the one that did the research,
Okay.
what the black diaspora was all about.
And can say what's what.
It included Haiti
Okay.
and all of the smaller
The Caribbean,
Caribbean.
Jamaican,
Right.
Dominican Republic.
Correct. He researched all of that.
Okay.
And that was the black diaspora.
That's interesting. Jerry took a similar course, African American Studies
Right.
at Stanford, and they talked about the black diaspora.
That's it.
So you took the same thing that Jerry took. So
I
that's,
did.
That's good. And how long did you stay in Atlanta? What do you remember about Atlanta when you went there?
Atlanta, I stayed in there my entire, well, no. I spent my school year in Arkansas. So that was 4 years of that.
Right.
When I got out of Arkansas, I went to Atlanta University. I had hoped to get enrolled in the program
Right.
related to the black diaspora. But Dr. I forget his name right now, Dr. Long.
Right, Dr. Long.
He was into poetry. Poetry.
That's not
and-
our thing.
And I wasn't interested in poetry.
And I was born in Atlanta, so
Right.
that's good
Right.
that you went to Atlanta. 'Cause
Right,
that's
right.
how I came along.
So he was interested in poetry, and I didn't like it, so I dropped out of the program.
Yeah, that's not what you signed up for.
Yeah, but Dr. Charles Johnson developed the program related to the black diaspora, and I took that in college.
Okay. How long did you stay in Atlanta? Like, what are some of your best memories from Atlanta, from your time there?
Best memory from Atlanta is getting married. And that's where I got married to Mom.
Right. How did you meet?
Let me say, she was Dr. Long's secretary.
Oh,
So I met her on campus,
okay.
and she was Dr. Long's secretary, so I got to know her. And I used to take her out to dinner
Okay.
out in the restaurants in Atlanta.
In Atlanta, even today, it's a great place there's a lot of black
Right,
folks out
right.
there.
So I took her out every Friday.
Every Friday.
Every Friday. That's the way I got a chance to marry her.
All right.
Nobody would. She would always create. I would always be on a date, and then I asked her for a date for the next week.
That's smart.
So nobody actually.
You had a date on Friday. You were setting up the next Friday.
next Friday, right?
That is really smart.
So I stayed close to her that way. So every Friday I would be taking her out to a restaurant in Atlanta. And Atlanta had a whole lot of restaurants.
And they still do.
Okay.
It's a lot of eating out.
Right.
And when I started at Jerry, same thing. Every weekend we went out.
Yeah.
Every weekend.
So they had a whole lot of restaurants in Atlanta, and that's the way I kept her.
All right.
And then after a while, then I proposed to her to ask her if she would be my wife.
That's awesome. And how did you propose, or like where and when?
Well, first of all, I didn't propose right away. I tried to get to know her, and she tried to get to know me by going out.
Right.
So I would go out with her on every Friday. She had a Toyota that had a small dent in the back. I didn't have a car, so we would take her car and go downtown to the various restaurants.
Was this the gray Toyota?
Yeah,
I remember that Toyota.
right.
That's cool.
So we would go out and
Did you propose on one of those dates?
not on one of those dates. I got to know her that way. She would go out with her girlfriends
Right.
to Don Clendenin's. And they would go there to dance,
Okay.
and the men would buy them drinks. And so for them to dance with somebody, they would go out, and the men, if they bought them a drink, they would dance with them.
Right.
And so that's how I came to know her. And
Okay.
when I went,
Atlanta was a party city.
yeah.
Still is kind of a party city from what I
Right.
hear.
But when I went out with her, I didn't do a whole lot of dancing.
Right.
I just pulled up a chair and watched them dance.
Yeah. And of course, she said yes when you proposed.
No, she didn't say yes. I just got to know her that way. After I got to know her, then I started taking her out to dinner. And then after I took her out to most of the places in Atlanta, which was just about all of the restaurants, then I proposed to her.
Okay. Okay. Did you like get on a knee and propose, or like how did it happen?
Well, let me see. No,
No, you just asked her.
can't do that.
Yeah.
Not the way I did it was I worked for Panamine. Panamine was a store that sold a lot of clothing to young black people,
Okay.
and I worked there and I raised money. So I raised about $300.
Okay.
After I raised the $300, I bought her a ring.
Oh, nice.
I think she still has it
Yeah, I think she does.
because it's a ring with a loop around it, and it was sort of like a ring that was very different,
Unique.
unique.
Yeah.
And the loop around it was a symbol of my love for her.
That's good.
And
That's good.
so I took her out to Don Clendenin's is where they normally wanted to go. And they also wanted to go dancing.
Okay.
Her
friends.
Her friends.
Yeah.
And I hung around with them during that period of time. And
I think they came to the wedding too, right? Because y'all had like a college wedding,
they
and they had to set it up.
they sponsored the wedding.
That's
What I
good.
mean by that is they purchased the tickets for us to go to Don Clendenin's.
Okay.
You know, Don Clendenin was down there on, I forget, it's like 10th Street, but I
Yeah.
forget the name of it.
Probably Peachtree Street or something like that.
Yeah, and there, and that's how I got to know her. Then once I got to know her, and I proposed to her, her girlfriends gave a wedding
Like a ceremony.
ceremony,
That's
and then
all right.
after the wedding ceremony, they had food and dinner for us.
Oh, that's really
At
those are
Don-
good friends.
Yeah, not at Don Clendenin's.
That's good. That's a nice restaurant.
Let me see, it was it Don Clendenin's? It
And
was.
then after you got married, tell me about that. Because then you, if I remember correctly, y'all bought your first house in Atlanta. You had the GI Bill.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, when we got married, we got the house.
Yeah.
I had to have somebody that would be able to support a loan for a house.
Right.
And I made so much money working with Panamine.
Panama. Okay.
She made so much working with Dr. Long at Atlanta University, and we combined both of our salaries together. And we were able to buy the house, the White House in Atlanta.
Yeah, that was my
Remember?
birth house.
Yeah.
I had taken Jerry to go see that house.
Oh, did you?
When we went to go visit Aunt Harriet, because I remember Aunt Harriet used to babysit Brandon and I, and so I took Jerry to Atlanta. And we
Right.
we visited Aunt Harriet. We took her out to eat,
Right.
and then I took Jerry by the house.
And they had a little
Had a big old front yard.
big front yard and something in the middle.
Right.
It was like a little water fountain. So and then we bought that house.
Yeah,
And
that's awesome.
after we bought the house, she decorated it.
Mom loved to decorate.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Jerry loves to decorate. They're kind of similar,
Right.
you know.
So we stayed in that house, and for a long time, she went on the Asian study tour, which was around the world, and we were living in that house at that
She
time.
went to Thailand and
Yeah,
I forget all the places. This is
Right.
with the YWCA.
with white and
That was something else.
yeah,
Because she basically represented
right,
the country,
right.
and they took her all around the world. That was
And then
something
she
else.
spoke, and it was,
Yeah.
I think it was for women.
Mm-hmm.
It was at a woman's. I'm not sure what it was, but it was a celebration of women and their role in the marriage and development of the family.
Okay.
And she went around the world for that.
Yeah, y'all were big on family development and,
Right.
and that. Okay, and then from Atlanta, at some point y'all decided to move to California, to
What-
Fremont.
What happened there was the medical.
Yeah,
Atlanta's medical was lousy.
it's the South. It's the
That's
South,
right.
you know.
Deep South. So she, I promised her that I would commit to, once she got well, I commit to moving to California.
Right.
The medical services,
You followed through on that.
that's right, the medical services were lousy.
Yeah.
And she lost 10 inches of intestines.
When she got sick, that was after I was born. I think, right after I was born.
Right.
Right.
She lost 10 inches of intestines, and it was due to the poor medical practice in the black community.
Right. So you got the heck out of there.
So after she got well, then I moved her back to California. Not back, but I moved her to California. She's from California.
Yeah, from San Diego.
Right.
But what made you choose Fremont?
When we decided to come back to California, we were trying to determine whether or not we would live in Northern California or in Fremont.
Right.
Okay, so Northern California is like here.
Right.
This is Northern California. Fremont is
More central.
more close. It's Fremont is farther away
Right. Further south.
from San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I got. So once we decided where we're going to live, we decided to live in Fremont.
Right.
That's where we.
Right.
That's where we bought
And
our
I think
house.
you at the time, Mom was working for the YWCA,
That's right.
and you were working for Boy Scouts of America
That's right.
in the Army Reserves. In
I
San
had
Jose.
to go to the Army Reserve.
Oh, that was part of your duty or the commitment?
After I got out of the military.
Right. Okay.
So the next thing was to go to the reserve.
Okay. So how did eventually you work for City of Berkeley? How did you wind up at the City of Berkeley?
I wound up at the City of Berkeley because after I got through with military, I could decide to go to school because my military career, my military time was I had already met the requirement for that. And I decided to go to the City of Berkeley primarily because one thing that attracted me to the City of Berkeley was the curriculum.
Right. Right.
And they had, at the City of Berkeley, they talked about the black diaspora and what have you.
Right.
And Dr. Charles Johnson was the person that developed that program.
You had taken me to your work a couple times at Berkeley when I was a kid.
Yeah,
That was cool.
right. And so, because of the black diaspora, I chose to go to Atlanta University, learn more about what that was all about.
Right. What do you remember most about Fremont and raising, Brandon, Tamara, myself?
Fremont, I remember mostly. Let me take a deep breath.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm asking a lot of questions.
No. I'm trying to. One of the things I did not like about Fremont was when you got hit by the car.
Oh yeah.
You
That was
understand?
tough.
Okay, that was very scary.
Right. I remember.
Right. So that was one of the worst times that I had in Fremont. And I decided to wait until Patsy, and something happened to Mama too.
Well, Mom was at Alameda County.
Well, Mom also had to have surgery in Atlanta too.
Right.
And that surgery she had was by way of the black doctors that did practice in Atlanta.
Right. Yeah,
That was
the medical in Fremont was a lot better.
the medical in Fremont.
California,
So I decided to move from Fremont.
From Atlanta to
I
Fremont.
decided to move from Georgia,
yeah. Right.
not Fremont, to Georgia. And we decided to move from Georgia to, initially we was thinking about San Diego.
Yeah, that's where Mom's folks are from. San Diego.
But when I got there, we changed our mind and I told her I wouldn't be able to work in San Diego because of racism.
Right.
And then we decided to move from there to Northern California.
Right. Okay. Yeah, Fremont. I remember Fremont. We did Little League baseball, Little League football,
Right,
Boy Scouts,
right. That's Fremont.
Kennedy High School.
That's Fremont.
Coach Mike was a good coach.
Yeah, all of that's
Remember,
Fremont.
you and Mom talked to the coaches. Coach Webb was not a good coach.
Coach Webb, Coach Webb was skilled.
We didn't see eye to eye with Coach Webb.
Coach Webb was skilled, trying to stop traffic. You know, the hill, it went up the hill,
Yeah.
came down. Coach Webb got out of his car and tried to stop the traffic, and it got ran over.
That was tragic.
Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. It was tragic. I couldn't believe it when I heard the news. He was trying to wave down,
He was trying to get
control the
people-
traffic.
somebody or something had happened or accident had occurred, and he tried to direct traffic,
Right.
and he was mowed down.
Yeah.
Remember
Fremont. I do. Fremont was nice. Jerry and I, we are in Concord, and Concord reminds me a lot of Fremont
Right,
because Concord, there's a lot of kids. There's about 5 high schools.
right,
Roman went to high school to Clayton. Clark goes to Carondelet,
right.
and Fremont was like that. There's 5 high schools in Fremont,
Now Concord was a big city.
right?
Okay,
Yeah.
nobody really had any linkage with Concord. But when I was in the hospital, I got a chance to see Concord,
Right.
and that was like not too long ago.
Not too long ago.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Concord's a big city. Yeah.
So Concord is a real big city, and that most people don't know how big it is. It's a very big city.
It's the biggest city in Contra Costa County,
That's right.
land-wise.
But we never knew that it was that big.
Right.
But
And Fremont's pretty big too. Well, what's your favorite memory of Fremont?
favorite memory of Fremont was
Well, we lived there a long time, so I might have to come back to you on that one.
well, no. Fremont was kind of static. I mean, it wasn't very much you could do in Fremont.
Right. You guys got involved with the city government. And,
We got involved. Well,
City
Mama
council.
tried to get involved with the city government, but we moved from Fremont because there were more black people in Northern California.
there was. I remember Union City, New Hope.
Right.
A lot of friends there.
But
and
Northern
then-
California had more black people.
It did. And then the other thing I remember, when I was a kid, you and Mom did the Jesse Jackson campaign.
Right.
And Brandon said you guys were
Supported him.
actually
Supported
delegates.
him. Yeah, supported.
Brandon said you guys were delegates. I think. He
Uh,
had some sort of role.
No, there was a guy that sent Brandon to work in Washington D.C.
Right.
Okay, and
One of the senators or
He
something.
was like one of the people that went from office to office, giving information to one office to the other. He had to go in the tunnel.
Right.
Washington D.C. has a tunnel, and in that tunnel are various departments.
Gotcha.
So he had to go from one area of the Capitol to the other area of the Capitol, and so he would bring information from one department to another department.
Yep. Yeah, what I used to like growing up was we did a lot of camping and boating and fishing. So we would go to the Delta.
Right.
That was probably outside of football, the the outdoors.
Now that's
Remember Bethel Island?
that's when we started boating a lot.
Right, right.
So we boated a lot up in that area.
That was our thing to do.
Yeah, a whole lot.
I think we covered the whole delta.
That's right. So that was a period of time that we did a lot of boating.
Mm-hmm. And fishing too.
And then we were also part of the Ebony Boat Club.
That was fun.
Uh-huh.
By the time you got to Ebony Boat Club, I think I was probably 13 or 14 at that point.
And you know the clubhouse that they had.
Yeah. Oh, it was nice.
Yeah.
They had probably about 50 boats.
Right.
Some of those raft ups.
That was the Ebony Boat Club.
That was a good club to be a part of.
That was the year of the bus boating. During that period of time.
Yeah, I
had love to.
That's right. I remember. In fact, I remember you brought me to work one time, and then they had that CHB trawler at Emeryville Marina.
Okay.
And it was out of the water.
Correct.
It was on
exactly
on blocks.
Exactly.
And we would go look at that boat.
That's right.
A bunch of times, and then eventually you got it.
Eventually, the guy that bought it from conceded to selling it for a very low price.
That's good.
And
got to find a deal.
I called Mama and told her what he wanted for it, because he had to go home because his someone in his family was very ill, and he needed $10,000 to go there.
Okay.
I gave him $10,000 for the boat.
And you got the boat?
I got the boat.
That's an amazing deal.
Well, it's an amazing deal because
that's a diesel engine.
He needed to go. He needed to go right away. He needed a plane ticket, so that $10,000 was the plane ticket.
That was an amazing deal.
Right.
You did it.
Yeah.
You did it. And that was a big step up from the houseboat.
Yeah, it was.
Because that boat had 2 cabins, 2 bathrooms,
right. But it was only a big step because of the fact that it was an emergency for him.
Right. Well.
And, that's how I got the boat.
All right. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.